So I want to take a moment to share with you in very real time kind of what I am experiencing right now. In a recent blog post I shared, if you are somebody who is struggling to create this idea of balance in your life, you're like, what does that look like? I'm struggling to trying to find balance. I want you to do this instead. This is create harmony and flow in your life. That's the alternative, or to me, the antithesis, the better part of trying to create this thing in your life where you feel like all the things that you're doing are in alignment. That is what I call creating harmony and flow in your life. I shared 5 specific steps on how to create harmony and flow. I'll definitely link it below so you can check it out. It is phenomenal. I am literally working through this process now. Especially as a mom of 2, so much in my life is different. I just did my hair, y'all, so y'all know that new hair, you be trying to find like the right part and everything like that. But in this moment, right now, I am realizing that I need to make a serious pivot. I've been kind of making adjustments here and there, but I want to share with you how to know when it is time to make an adjustment, or as I will call it, when it's time to pivot. When what you are doing is no longer working for you, when what you are doing is not just not working for you, but it's no longer aligning with who you know God is calling you to be and the life that you know He has for you, the life of peace, the life of abundance, the life of joy, the life of rest. All the things that He promises us in His word that apply to us as whole moms. And for me, I didn't even realize I needed to adjust until recently. I'm in the kitchen, y'all, trying to get a break, trying to gather myself, is what I called it, trying to regroup. When my daughter came in and said, Mommy, what are you doing? Why are you always coming to the kitchen to, I said, I had to just take a moment, baby. I'm trying to regroup. I'm trying to just get myself together. And she said, why are you always getting yourself together? And I'm like, that's a good question. Why am I always getting myself together? And over the last 2 weeks, it has been especially evident that things are out of alignment, because I constantly found myself finding this moment to retreat, to regroup from what I was doing. And so in that moment, I'm like, all right, God, listen, I don't like having to always regroup. I don't like feeling like I'm doing the most. I like to do the most. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a recovering do the moster, okay? But in this season of my life, peace, joy, and the rest of God are my priorities when it comes to my self-care, when it comes to how I know He wants me to show up for my children as a mom. I can't be burnt out. I can't be overwhelmed, and I can't be in this position where I'm constantly trying to regroup and get myself together. And so in this moment, I am literally going through my mind, and I said, God, I need to sit down and evaluate what has taken place over the last 2 weeks that has caused me to feel like I need to constantly figure things out or regroup. And for me personally, I know I am an extrovert. I know I am somebody who likes to be a part of things. I am someone who likes to create experiences for my children. I like to be a part of the experience with my children. But I also know, as I shared before, I have this thing where I'm constantly figuring out, is this within the capacity for what I can handle in this season in my life? What I could do last season, the capacity that I had for the things that God placed for me to do last season, that capacity has clearly changed as a mom of 2. This is the summer. We've been trying to do new activities that we were used to doing last summer. But let me tell you, baby, this summer, those things we trying to do, your girl don't got the capacity for it. And I have to honor where God has me in this season. I'm a mom of 2. So there were a lot of things, I can't speak for nobody, I'm speaking for myself. There were a lot of things that I was able to do by myself with my child that I cannot do by myself now that I have 2 that I have to be responsible for. So with that being said, I am, as we start this new week, going through and saying, okay, God, what needs to shift? What needs to adjust? Where do I need to pivot? Just like when think about it like this. I always love to use the analogy of clothing. We all know, if you are a woman, when you got that one outfit, on the outside, the thing looks good. You look good. But as soon as you start walking, it starts hiking up. You're constantly adjusting. You're constantly shifting. You're constantly fixing. You're constantly trying to make sure that everything is fitting just right. You feel so uncomfortable, right, in that outfit that you can't even enjoy, whether it's an event you're going to or whatever it might be. You can't enjoy because you're constantly focused on, do you look right? Oh my gosh, this ain't fitting right. Oh my goodness, is this showing? Is that showing? And so you're so focused on trying to keep appearances that you're not even able to enjoy what you even put the outfit on for. And so in our life as moms, I had to check myself. Am I trying to keep up appearances? Am I trying to keep up appearances to the point where I'm constantly having to regroup and try to get myself together? Or am I creating a life that aligns with who God's called me to be? A life where I'm able to enjoy my children, a life where I'm able, yes, to enjoy these experiences with my children, but within the capacity that God has given me for this season? Or am I outside of that capacity? Am I just trying to keep up and look like all the things to everybody? Or am I honoring where God has me in the lane that He has me in right now in the season? As a mom, as a wife, as all the things. And so I'm adjusting. I'm realizing that I had on an outfit that was uncomfortable. I was wearing yesterday's clothes. I was wearing last season's outfit. That'll preach. I was wearing the outfit from last season. We in a totally different season, and the outfit that I was wearing don't even go. Yo, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm sweating. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm not able to enjoy these experiences. Why? Because I'm wearing yesterday's clothing. I'm wearing the clothing from last season. And so it is time for your girl to adjust, to change my garment, to align with who God is calling me to be in this season, and wear the appropriate attire that honors the capacity that God has for me in this season. And so I hope that makes sense, because literally this is like a very real moment for me. I'm living in it right now. I feel like I always want to share things that I've come out of or that I've overcome, but I'm literally in the space right now where I'm figuring out, okay, God, where am I misaligned? What in my life doesn't align with who you're calling me to be? Where am I doing the most? What needs to go? And give me the courage to say, that don't fit, baby. That don't fit with where God is taking me in this season, and that is okay, right? And so, with that being said, how do you know if you're out of alignment? How do you know when it's time to shift? How do you know when you're doing the most? If you're constantly finding yourself overwhelmed, trying to get yourself together, constantly trying to keep up with the things that are going on, then it is time for you to pause, pray, and say, God, where do I need to shift? As I call it, it's time for you to pause, okay? That means stop what you're doing, find a space, pray, because guess what? We cannot do this thing without Him. I can't do this thing as a mom, as a woman, I can't do this thing called life in general. I can't do anything without Christ, okay? So I'm pausing. You're going to pray, seek God, and say, God, what needs to shift? And then you're going to pivot according to what He has called you to do in this season. Ask Him, am I wearing clothes from last season? Am I dressed in these old wineskins that don't align? What I did, I share it often, what I did as a mom of one, the mom I was when I was a mom with one kid, I am not her anymore. I had to let her go. I love her. I love her a lot. She did a lot of great things, but I'm no longer that woman. They even say scientifically that every time you birth a child, literally you're birthing a new version of yourself, which is so true, because who I am and who I became after having my son is who I need to be to raise my son, right? God is calling me in this space to be a mom of two, and it is requiring so much more of me than I could have ever imagined. I had no idea what it would be like to be a mom of two. And let me tell you, it is rocking my socks. But God is so good, because as I always say, I have been called to raise my children for such a time as this. Because of Christ within me, I have everything I need to mother well. And so I invite you, if you're in a moment where you're like, all right, what's really going on? I'm constantly going to sleep tired and overwhelmed, or I'm constantly having to feel like I'm chasing after this. I'm trying to play catch up with my own life. I'm constantly feeling like I need to step away from the things that are going on around me to get myself together. It is time for you to pivot. It is time for you to assess what's going on, talk to the good Lord about it, and say, God, where do I need to shift? How do I need to adjust? How do I need to flow in this season? And oftentimes, I'm going to be real with you, oftentimes it's going to be a matter of what needs to go. What things am I doing? What things am I embracing? What things am I holding on to that do not align with who you're calling me to be in this season? That's typically where we have to find our pivot. That's the pivot zone right there. It's not fun. I know I'm somebody, I love to look like I got it all together, but I do not have it all together. I'm living through this thing right now. Called my sister yesterday with some real serious mommy tea, crying because I'm like, girl, what is going on? And she said to me, which I'm going to share with you, I am so proud of you for not only trying something new, but taking a moment to recognize that this moment is showing you what you can and what you cannot handle in this season because of the capacity that you have, but then finding ways to learn, grow, and then make the adjustments. She said that to me. I said, well, thank you, girl, but I want to say to you, even before you start this process, I am proud of you for taking the time to pause, recognizing that you don't have it all together, but saying to the good Lord, Father, I want to learn through this season. I want to grow from this point. What do I need to do to shift in this moment so that I can flow within the capacity that you have set for me, so that I can honor the call on my life as a mom, as a wife, as a woman, in my purpose. I want to be all of who you are calling me to be in this season. And so show me what is getting in the way of me becoming her. So that's all I have. I left my child to eat french fries on the couch because that's where we are, okay? I had to get this out. I literally felt like I got to unburden myself. I gotta share this with somebody. And here we are on camera. I hope that makes sense to you. And I just believe that God is gonna show you what needs to go. Don't be afraid of what God's gonna show you behind that door when he opens it. And know that if he's showing it to you, if he's calling you to it, you have everything you need to handle it victoriously. That's the promise of God on our lives. But we got to do it with him. You can't do it by yourself. You need his strength to be a mom. You need his strength to be a good mom. You need his strength to mother well. You need his strength to understand how to make those adjustments. You need his wisdom to know how to make those decisions that are, best for your family. You need him. So keep him involved. Keep him as a top priority in your life. That's all I have for you today. I love y'all for real. Pray for me as I pray for you, because we're going to figure this thing out. You hear me? It's all about harmony and flow over here. We're not playing these games. We're not playing these games. You get to a point in your life, I know it's going to end the video, but I'm going to say this one thing and I'm going to go. You get to a point in your life where you say, I'm actually sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of playing the same old okie doke and getting caught up for the same old okie doke, playing the same old games, getting caught up in the same old cycles. I'm done. I'm done. If I'm a child of God, I don't have to live that life that I was living, the life that doesn't align with who he's calling me to be, that life of abundance, that life of joy, that life of peace. That is your promise as a whole mom, as a child of God, as a woman of God. The Bible and God's promises and his word applies to us as children of God, and that includes your motherhood. I'm going to sign off now because I got things to do. I got adjustments to make. Love y'all for real, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, y'all.